Hi guys, Kaychak here. We are covering something a little bit different today, as a couple of weeks ago I noticed something on the beta which I thought was worthy of a video. We are going from level 60 to level 66.5 in Dragonflight in just over 30 minutes. This sounds utterly insane to have this for a new expansion that is not even out yet, but it's true. You're going to see all this in a video, and this isn't a bug or a hack. This is entirely intended behaviour because Blizzard has made changes recently on the beta to show that this is intended. What you're going to see today is probably the fastest and silliest leveling method there's ever been in WoW. I know Blizzard said they wanted to update the profession system and make it less of a niche gameplay experience, but I thought they were mostly aiming for giving us gold makers some endgame, not giving us some insane leveling strategy. Now I'm going to run a timer in WoW and do this all in one cut so you can see that I'm not cheating. Try and keep both the timer and the player frame in sight, but I have lots of screens popping up all over the place all the time, so it wasn't easy. I am however going to speed the footage up because I don't want to talk for 30 minutes and you definitely don't want to sit here and listen to me ramble for that long, but not speed it up so much that you can't see what's going on. In Dragonflight we have an overhauled profession system and loads of stuff has changed. The professions really do have some depth to them now. There is actually so much depth to this system that this is going to be 100% of my gameplay in Dragonflight, and I imagine it'll be the same for many others who used to be part-time gold makers. Now one thing that I noticed in my many hours of testing out the professions on the beta for the channel was something a little bit odd. In Dragonflight, the first time you craft something you get a first time craft bonus which includes 1 profession knowledge point, or a talent point in the new profession specialisation system if you prefer, and 5 artisans metal, which is a useful crafting region. These first time crafting bonuses are essential to the long term progression of your profession, and you really need to be hitting as many of them as you can whilst levelling it up to put yourself into a strong position when you come to do some endgame crafting. Now all of this has always shown up in the crafting log on the beta, but what hasn't shown up has been that this also gives you a small amount of experience. This has probably largely been overlooked because the majority of the testing for professions has occurred on the endgame realm where everyone is level 70, so they would never have seen the bonus experience. Since I actually filmed this footage, it's actually been updated on the beta now to clearly show that this is intended behaviour for you to get the bonus experience from these first time crafts. That is because where it shows you the other rewards for doing a first time craft, it also pops up saying bonus experience now, which it never did before. This is not something that we should expect to be changed, seeing as Blizzard went through the trouble to add the bonus experience to the first time crafting bonus animation less than 3 weeks before Dragonflight is being released. It would be really weird for them to go through that trouble to do that so close to release just to pull the bonus experience out completely. Now what you can actually see on this video is me going through and getting the majority of the first time crafts that you can get from profession trainers for all the professions in Dragonflight. Now there is a lot of RNG here. There's RNG in the profession level ups, but I've tried to give myself some extra materials for this. What I couldn't do anything about was that the alchemy has RNG unlocks for profession recipes and an RNG chance for you to stop being able to research for 4 hours as well. Trust me, if you think you hate RNG, try spending 2 weeks prepping for a video and then have alchemy RNG blow up in your face. Now this did take a lot of preparation, and even with all that effort, things still went wrong. At 2 points I encountered bugs that stopped me from using milling and prospecting. This slowed me down for a few minutes and I missed some first time crafts and experience because of this. This made it so I had to use materials that I had not planned to do so to level up because of these bugs, and therefore I did not have enough left over for some crafts. Overall, if this was done perfectly with no bugs, then it would be level 60 to 66.5 in under 30 minutes. In reality, what you are seeing here is probably not practical for leveling when Dragonflight releases, at least not on this scale, but I'll come back to that as this is going to be awesome for leveling up alts for the entire expansion. What you can take from this is that if you have opportunities to level your profession on your first playthrough, then it's well worth that little bit of effort, even if it only takes a level off. That's pretty insane when you're rushing your first character to cap. Now if you're actually interested in the new profession system in a bit more depth, or gold making generally, then you could consider subscribing. I do have a lot of content on the channel, but I also have a lot more already made for Dragonflight release. I've spent a silly number of hours researching on the beta, and I made over 1 billion gold profit across the EU and US in Shadowlands. I think I've come up with some insane methods of gold making for Dragonflight that's even crazier than some of the stuff I did in Shadowlands, so yeah, feel free to stick around. Now, I said what you're seeing in this video is probably not practical on Dragonflight release, and that is true. This was some retro levels of preparation to get this footage. It was literally weeks on the beta, gathering everything together that I needed to do this. Now, what I have managed to do is come up with what I think is a pretty solid use of this strategy for leveling up, for alts in particular. I've put together another materials list and a build order that gets you around 3.5 levels in 10 minutes on a watered down version of what you are seeing in this video. To be able to do this, obviously, you need to be able to get a character to Valdrakken, the new capital city, to engage with the new profession system. I would highly encourage anyone to come straight here with any alts they bring to the Dragon Isles, even if you don't intend on doing this leveling method. This is mostly to unlock all the dragon riding upgrades, because this will save you significantly more time during the leveling process than the 10 minutes it takes to get here. That is of course assuming that you've unlocked all the dragon riding upgrades, which is the first thing you should do when you hit level 70, and that is account bound. It is ridiculous how good it is having capped out dragon riding. If you're not sure how to get to Valdrakken on your alts, I have a video for that too, which I'll pop at the end of this video. Basically, what I have done in a watered down version of what you are seeing is pick professions with really simple leveling processes that need basic materials that ended up in me getting from level 60 to 63.5 in around 10 minutes, and I've done all this in a separate video. Now, right at the start of Dragonflight, the materials to power level these professions could be quite expensive, so there's probably not going to be loads of people able to do this. Over time though, the same thing always happens with the raw materials. They get cheaper and cheaper as they get farmed into oblivion, and more within the price range of the general player base. The aim for this is going to be to take a chunk out the leveling process for alts for the long term in Dragonflight for everyone. In the other video, I have a list of basic materials to get you 63.5. You buy these on your main maybe, mail them to your alt runs to Valdrakken, empties the mailbox, and then just crafts as per the crafting order on the video, and maybe within 20 to 25 minutes of entering the Dragon Isles, you have a level 63.5 character in Valdrakken. The crafting bonuses don't use rested experience either, so if we are talking a bit further down the line in Dragonflight and you've got capped rested experience, then that's going to give you a really crazy head start to be level 63.5 and then have a level and a half of rested experience as well. This is going to be awesome to skip 1/3 of the leveling process for alts. It's definitely going to make me level up more early in expansion than I ever have before. Overall, this was a fun little experiment, but I'm really hopeful that it's going to make leveling alts in Dragonflight so much easier than in any current expansion ever before. You can already make better gold and experience whilst leveling just by flying around and mining and herbing, and this is just really nice on top of that. If you want to check out the other video on how you should be doing this on your alts, it should be popping up on the screen now, and that one will go into more depth on what you need to do on your alts to use this power leveling method. As always, thanks for watching and supporting the channel guys, and I'll see you next time.